Hey, Solarkendaenergyking back with another video about living in Houston, Texas, pros and cons. If you haven't done so already, please go like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm making videos for homeowners and people who are interested in learning more about solar and also the Houston market, just because that's where I stay at the moment. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me in the comments below. Please follow me on all social medias at Solarkendaenergyking. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions if you leave them in the comment section below, or DM me on my social medias. I'll be more than happy to answer anything that you guys have to offer. But let's get right into this video on living in Houston, the pros and cons. So the first pro that I'm going to give you for the Houston market is going to be the cost of living is super low. It's usually cheaper than pretty much any other major city west of the Mississippi. You're going to find some very nice buys. There's going to be a lot of new construction, new developments going on. This is booming out here in the city of Houston. The cost, like I said, the cost of living and entry is pretty low. So if you're looking to buy a home in the city of Houston, your starting price is going to be around $200K for a 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom home, depending on where you're moving at. If you're moving outside of the city limits, which more is going to be like the Katy, West Katy, South Rosenberg, South Rosharon, these homes are going to cost you anywhere between $230 to about $500K, depending on how much your budget is and what you're looking for in a home or what you get out of a home. So if you decide to move into the inner loop, which is going to be the 610, we're going to be starting out at maybe about $500K to about $2 million for the home, depending on, again, what your budget is and what you're trying to do in the city of Houston. And when you're renting out here, for rent, you're going to be paying on the outer loops, like I said, those 80s like here in Katy and Rosenberg, Richmond, Fresno, Pearland, those areas, you're going to be renting a 1-bedroom for about $1,200 to about $3,200, depending on if you're getting into 1-bedroom to a 3-bedroom. So that's what you're going to be paying for, like I guess a rental, depending on what you're renting a house or an apartment. And then if you're doing the same thing in the inner loop, it's going to cost you anywhere between $1,600 for a 1-bedroom studio to about $3,500 for a 3-bedroom apartment, depending on where you're looking at and what kind of apartment that you're looking into. So if you're looking to buy or rent, these are the market prices that you're going to run into when you're living in Houston. So the cons when it comes down to the living in Houston, that they do have high taxes when it comes down to property tax. You're going to be paying anywhere between 2 to 4% for your property tax, which is really high. And in most markets, it's only about 1.5% at most. So that's pretty high in some markets, but here you're going to be paying anywhere between 2% to 4%. So you definitely want to watch out where you're actually purchasing your home, because some are higher than others. So number 2 on the list, city living is convenient. So for the most part, you're going to be able to find pretty much everything you need within a 10 to 15 minute radius of where you're going to be living at. If you're living inside the city limit of 610 or just inside of the Sam Houston, the Beltway, you're going to be able to find everything within 10 to 15 minutes. You don't have to really go outside of that to go do anything. There's going to be shopping. There's going to be food restaurants everywhere. You're going to have events and spaces to do anything, like parks to do, play with the kids, stuff of that nature. For the most part, you're going to be able to do that all within the city limits, so you don't have to drive super far. Traffic can be horrible depending on if you live inside the 610. If you live on the 610, there's going to be a lot of construction going on, because there's always construction going on. So these are things you're going to have to be mindful for when you decide to move into the city or drive into the city. But you're always going to have to worry about what's going on and what time you're going to be doing it, because traffic is going to be the biggest time waste or expense when you invest in time living in the city of Houston, because you definitely don't want to be stuck in traffic for more than 20 to 30 minutes, because it can't happen. Also, when it comes down to living in the city, you're going to have horrible parking areas where you're going to not be able to park in some situations. They're going to be time parking. You're always going to have to move your car. You're also going to be looking at the towing, because they tow out here like crazy. You'll see tow trucks in droves, 3 or 4 of them sitting at a parking lot just waiting to tow somebody's car. So you don't want that to be used. So you definitely want to move your car before that happens. So I haven't had it happen to me, but I've seen it happen to other people and I've heard about it. So if you're living in the city of Houston, definitely watch out for the tow man, because he will tow you. And I guess the last con to that will be there's a lot of homeless individuals that live here in Houston, especially downtown areas. So going out, just being around the city, it can be, I guess, a little bit of an eyesore, knowing that there's going to be somebody on the street laying down, sleeping, probably where you're either walking down or going out and getting something to eat. And that can be a little bit of a different experience if you don't come from that, if you haven't seen that very often. So it's a big thing to have a huge tent community out here where they're pitching tents pretty much anywhere they can lay their heads, and they're going to be peddling, asking for dollars here and there. So it's up to you. You just have to be able to, I guess be mindful of that in the community. Third on the list is going to be weather. Weather can be wishy-washy. I'll put that in another video. It can definitely change up with the quickness. It doesn't necessarily stay the same on any given day. It can go from being sunny to cold, from cold to sunny, or it can go from being a clear as day to rain out of this world. Cats and dogs, everything is flooded pretty much overnight. You'll be like, wow, this changed up within 4 hours, and it really can. For the most part, a beautiful day, what a beautiful day looks like in Houston is going to be 79 to 85 degree day, mild humidity, which is about 45% humidity. You're gonna look at pretty much a slight breeze. So you pretty much want to make sure that if those are the days that you want to be around and be doing all your fun activities, because you're going to run into those days quite a few often, because it is Houston, it is a nice area to live in, but then you're going to run into some really bad weather, which is a con to this, is going to be your hurricanes, because hurricane season can last about 6 months, from about May to about, I want to say October, and then you have that can be an eyesore, because obviously it could be anything. You have to prepare for that. You definitely should keep a safety kit or an emergency kit at the house just in case something goes wrong. Then you have your freezes that can happen from January to about end of February. So any given day it can freeze. Last year it would happen on the 15th of February, and this year it kind of froze up on the 3rd or 4th of February this year, but it wasn't as bad as it was last year. The power actually went out on me last year, which was crazy, and trust me, I had to experience it. Wasn't really a fan. But then you have, like I said, your icy road conditions that go along with that. So you want to make sure that you just make sure your car is up to date when it comes down to tires, and it's some of the slickest roads I've ever seen. I'm talking about the slickest. I don't know what's in the water, but you will slide all the way to your destination if you're going too fast. Trust me, I was going 4 miles per hour on the road, and I promise you, I slid in an SUV and an Audi at that. I'm like, what is going on? But it is what it is. But definitely just make sure your car is prepared. So the next thing on the list is going to be food. Food is everywhere out here. You can find it pretty much on all corners, all around the city, and it's going to be super, super diverse because of the population and the culture here in Houston. And I appreciate that about the city. There's so many great restaurants that you gotta try. I've tried some of them. It makes sense. They're all tasty. They all have options for you as I guess a connoisseur of food or a foodie. If you like to do that, you can do all types of trials and different types of services when it comes down to the restaurants they have here in Houston. A few of them to make sure that you gotta try is going to be the Turkey Leg Hut, Taste Bar and Kitchen. You have the 13 restaurant by James Harden. That's James Harden's restaurant, so that's pretty much downtown in Midtown. You have Lost and Found, just to name a few. That way, when you get to Houston, you must try those restaurants. So if you have to go back, pause, and write down those restaurants, so you can definitely visit those locations when you get here. The cons about going to these particular places or any particular restaurant in Houston is that you're gonna get the Houston 10 real quick, or they call it the Texas 10. You add 10 pounds on you when you come here for a visit or just to live, because you're eating so much and there's so much good food out here. And then you're gonna look at it like this, you're gonna be spending a ton of money at these places just to have an experience of food and feel, I guess, the comfort of enjoying their vibes. But at the end of the day, you're gonna be, I guess, enjoy the vibe. So I guess it is a pro or is a con, I don't know. But you're definitely gonna be eating a lot when you come here to Houston. So number 5, events and activities. That's abundant out here. You can always find yourself getting into something if you decide to want to go to a sporting event like the Rockets game, Houston Texans, or even a Astros game. You're gonna be astounded because the fan base is amazing. You're gonna be able to, I guess, find, a culture in whatever you do out here. If it's just networking and events, which is a big thing out here, you can network with pretty much anybody and everybody for every different walks of life when it comes down to whatever you got going on. If you're a real estate agent, contractor, or just let's say you're in a book club, there's going to be an event space for you. As there's a lot of culture out here. Again, all that's going to be a plus. Being able to be involved with everything that's going on in the city, if you decide to, like I said, really indulge in what the city has to offer, you're going to find that it is really super easy to find something that you like. And the city has it to offer. Great networking environment, that way you can actually get in tune with people that are like-minded, that are the same hue and possibly same working class as yourself. That may gives you the option to actually deal with them. I guess the con to this is that you will probably get burnt out trying to do everything the city has to offer. So if you decide to do one thing, definitely do it in moderation, because there's so much to do in Houston. There's so many things that you can experience. There's so much opportunity to be had just by being in the city and enjoying their vibes. If you ever decide to come here, definitely give it a shot. Do all the things that you like. There's a ton of things that you can do. That way you can actually enjoy the environment and, just like I said, enjoy the experience of living in the city of Houston. If you have any questions or concerns, please leave them in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already, like I said, please go like, comment, subscribe to this video. Please hit the notification bell. Go to my social media links in the description below. I would love to talk to you guys over on my social medias. Go follow me on all of that at Solarkendaenergyking. If you please, like I said, share this video with a person that is either A, looking to come to Houston, or looking to move to Houston, so we can just get the likes and follows up on my social medias. I'll enjoy talking to you guys today. Please reach out to me if you feel like it, and catch you in the next video. Thanks.